Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. We have a lot to get into today, so let's get started. There are a lot of conspiracies floating around, but today's videos will touch on a few of the more well-known, and some may already be in progress. People are coming out much more frequently with possible evidence, and it is up to us to try and decide what facts are true. I want to state before we get started that this channel is for entertainment purposes only, and I would never hurt or harm myself. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. With that being said, let's get started.
Blue Beam Project marks the beginning of total population control. This delusional project aims to stage a large-scale fake extraterrestrial invasion worldwide, with UFOs visible in the sky, and to introduce a fake god to save humanity from this invasion. They would employ highly realistic secret military technology, and they have recently conducted tests. The result is crazy. The ultimate goal would be to eradicate all religions and establish a single unified religion, thereby achieving complete control over the population through fear. This project, combined with the HARP project, would enable the manifestation of a religious figure capable of causing earthquakes, storms, and natural disasters to more strongly modify the belief systems of the masses. Remember in Spider-Man: Far From Home when they used holograms to portray Mysterio as a hero? Now recall this phrase. In the movie, we'll tell them the truth, and in reality, we'll lie to them. Tell me your opinion on this, and remember that if aliens ever invade us, don't believe it.
In 1994, we believed everything that the government said to us. So this to me, that this guy came out in 1994 and said, nope, there is a Project Blue Beam taking place. NASA is involved with the help of the United Nations. I would have thought this man was crazy. If I was old enough to consider this, I would have thought he was out of his mind. So what's interesting about this, though, is that he publishes that book in 1994, and then the following years, in 1995 and 1996, he starts saying that he's being hunted by the police and the authorities for his involvement in networks of prohibited information. Now, that also sounds crazy. Oh, they're after me now because I published Project Blue Beam. He sounds like a total nut job. That sounds insane. Except for the fact that the state then took his children in September of 1996, claiming that his children being homeschooled was just a bad thing and that they weren't receiving the education that they deserved. They made his children wards of the state. They took his children so that they would receive a public education. So that's odd. Why would you take children because they're being homeschooled and make them wards of the state so that they can receive a public education? Well, it's going to get a little odder. He then died of a heart attack in his home in December of 1996 at the age of 51, just one day after being arrested and spending a night in jail. So they arrested him, something pertaining to his children not being in school, and then a day later he died. So obviously you can see that a ton of conspiracy theories regarding his death exist. That's weird. It's weird enough for people to then start listening to maybe some things that he was saying. So Serge Manis said that step one of Project Blue Beam was going to involve the manufacturing of artificially created earthquakes in strategic locations around the world. Again, to make it clear, he is stating in 1994 that the governments were in possession of technology that was going to be able to make this happen. Can the government cause earthquakes? I don't really know about that. Again, I'm just telling you what he said. These earthquakes, according to him, were going to unearth ancient artifacts, indicating that the religious doctrines of all nations have been misunderstood for centuries, thus discrediting all religions. The second step, he says, was going to involve a giant show from space. Essentially, they were going to use three-dimensional optical holograms that were going to project holographic images to beam across the sky, and that these images were going to include projections of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, and it was all going to merge into one. Essentially, they were going to be able to accomplish this by using space-based satellites, and it was going to make the entire sky transform into a massive movie screen. Do they have the technology to do that at NASA? I don't know. I don't know. NASA really is just sort of a black budget, in my opinion. I have no idea what NASA does. I don't know why they're getting trillions and trillions of taxpayer dollars. I don't know what NASA does. Call me an idiot, but they have an incredible budget for seemingly nothing, in my opinion. The third step is even more far-fetched. He says that this is going to involve artificial intelligence. Again, I just like to state this over and over again. He was saying this in 1994. Artificial intelligence that was going to be able to use mind control to reach people inside of their minds. And this was going to involve rays from satellites that are being fed memories from our computers that have stored massive data about every single human being on Earth. And finally, the fourth step of Project Bluebeam was going to use various technologies in order to convince people that alien invasions were taking place, alien invasions, and even the rapture itself, thus making it easier for governments and the powers that be to take control of a fear-addled population. The NASA Bluebeam project is the prime directive for the New World Order's absolute control over the populations of the entire Earth.
It is Project Bluebeam, high-level advanced holographic projection. You could say in 4D. You can't touch them, but they seem very lifelike, very real. And this is in a stadium. Everyone's filming it. You can see it right there. I think China, for the new year, had the dragons go around the big tower. I'll try and find that clip at some point. But for those of you who are not aware, this is the type of technology that they're releasing on the public now. Imagine what the military and the government have. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do a hoax or some sort of world hoax to scare us into giving up our freedoms and security. And they'll protect us as long as we release our freedoms and our rights. And they'll have more control.
I find this particular theory to be a very interesting one. Some well-known public figures have come out and stated that this is an actual project, and it is still to this day intended to be used. The hologram technology that I found while investigating this story is unreal and could definitely be used to pull this off. We all need to just keep this in mind when the spaceship armada shows up to take us over. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's move on. Our next video is a little out there, but take a look and let's see what you think.
Baphomet is the goat-headed image that represents Satan. However, one famous artist that has a deep connection with Baphomet is Beyonce. Take a look at this. Notice Beyonce and Jay-Z is riding on a motorcycle with the head of Baphomet attached to the handlebars. Also in this picture, she's wearing motorcycle gear while she promotes the image of Baphomet. Take a close look at this. Truth in plain sight. Now take a look at this picture. Once again, she shows who she's in alliance with by wearing a Baphomet's ring. Take a look at this. Truth in plain sight. Whether you're a Beyonce fan or not, you can't rule out the evidence. You know what the enemy wants you to say right now? It's just entertainment. It's just a coincidence. You know why? Because the enemy wants you blind. The enemy knows if your eyes come open, you're no longer going to support people who supports the enemy's agenda. Furthermore, she's seen on this picture with Jay-Z throwing up the 666 hand symbol, which is in connection with the mark of the beast. And notice Jay-Z is throwing up devil horns. Notice the first 6 alludes to the index finger and the thumb touching while placing the middle finger in an upward position. The second 6 is formed with the ring finger and the third 6 with the pinky finger, which represents 666. I also find it interesting that in the same picture, Beyonce is throwing up 666. Jay-Z is throwing up the devil horns. Now take a look at this picture. This is Anton LaVey, a well-known occultist. Listen to him explain what the devil horns mean.
Sign completely different. How does it go? No, not at you people out there in the audience, but this is the difference.
Aim it toward Red China, would you?
This is the sign of the horns, a curse sign.
According to history, the symbols I'm showing you, they are connected to dark rituals. So I'm telling y'all, this is not entertainment. In other words, this is not fun and games. You heard Anton LaVey. He was a well-known occultist. In fact, he also founded the Church of Satan. If anybody understands the symbol, it would be Anton LaVey. These symbols has been used in rituals to cast spells, to manipulate people, and to induce mind control upon people. What the enemy is after, your mind. What does the Bible say? Have this mind in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Beyonce also loves to promote the one-eye occultic hand symbol. You see her doing this over and over again. This is not a coincidence. Take a look at Anton LaVey and well-known occultist Aleister Crowley. What you notice, they are all promoting the same occultic symbol. I believe God is exposing. In other words, he's shining his glorious light into dark places to reveal the things that has been hid in the dark. According to scriptures, the Bible says there's nothing covered that shall not be uncovered. There's nothing hid that shall not be revealed. And I believe we are living in a time where God is exposing the enemy to save his people from this wicked world. God said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So knowledge is a defense against the enemy. And guess what? The enemy knows this. That's why he wants to keep you ignorant concerning his devices. My prayer is for God to touch your heart and to open your eyes to the truth. Because once you receive the truth shall make you free. It's your time to walk out of it. It's your time to be delivered. It's your time to live above the wicked agendas of the world. God bless you.
It seems that the satanic symbolism Beyoncé is putting on display is both undeniable and very straightforward. This reminds me of the Taylor Swift story I covered in a previous episode. They are not even trying to hide it. This is literally a battle of good versus evil. You just have to decide what side you are on. But that's just what I think. Let me know what your opinion is in the comment section below. Let's move on. This next video is one that will divide friends and family quickly. Let's take a look and tell me what you think.
We're not dealing at all with anything human. We are dealing with ancient extraterrestrial interactions with this planet going back probably millions of years, and this is another important part. In my own work have been whistleblowers that have been coming from a variety of directions, but the two most significant have been U.S. Navy SEALs. The entire moving Pangaea continent that we know as Antarctica, the 2012 SEAL got there by going in on a submarine, coming out, and said to him it was one of the most astonishing things is that they came out of the submarine into what looked like a molded piece. The other Navy SEAL who was there in 2012, he's the one who came in on a submarine to this 2-mile deep entrance. And he said that it was astonishing that as they come out, most submarines, if they're that deep, there has to be some sort of a decompression airlock thing. And he said the whole structure, they came in on the submarine, and when they move, the walls move with you with light. that the temperature stays between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, that they have looked for the energy source. They cannot find anything that has wires. There's nothing that we would recognize, and yet, if it is 33 to 34 million years old, it is still sustaining a structural integrity with pressure. You have light that is moving with you. You have this even temperature. You're looking up at ceilings and there is no structure that is going up. And they are maybe 33 to 34 million years old. What he has seen with his own eyes 2 miles down under ice are hieroglyphs, 9-acre rooms, that the very material of which the ceilings are made is neutralizing gravity. That we are dealing with advanced intelligences that know how to take a wall, put in at the atomic level, programming. If this exists, why? What would be any possible reason for why humanity on the surface of this planet should not be told everything there is to know and show about huge architecture deep under the ice of Antarctica? Why?
If you look at Google Sky and look down on Antarctica, you'll find bases from every major country in the world there. And you'll also find the Rockefeller Foundation base as well. There's an opening next to these research facilities. And this is why I believe they made this treaty, this sharing of information treaty or whatever. You can see it on the Google Sky thing. And when you look at it, like, what's in there? Now, why are they over here? And why are they so close to this gigantic opening? What's in there? I think the answer is whatever Admiral Byrd came across or whatever they're coming across, I think it's linked. I think there's a remnant of an ancient civilization in there that possibly is still there, and they're in communication with them. We know that Antarctica was not a frozen tundra. That landmass was on a plate that slipped and there was something called a pole shift of the crust of the Earth, which shifted it from a more habitable climate into the position it is now. They're finding remnants of an ancient civilization. You can actually go down there.
This topic has so much mystery surrounding it, but with people coming forward, we are starting to see there is definitely more going on than we are being told. If there really is advanced technology that has been found, how advanced is it? And how long have you known about it? There are many questions and little answers being given. Maybe one day we will learn the full truth. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's going to be it for this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to see new videos and help my channel grow. I will see you in the next episode. Stay safe out there.